It's a park surrounded by some of the most densely populated areas of the nation's most densely populated city. Yet, Claremont Park, in the heart of the Bronx, is home to what appears to be a growing number of coyotes. There's one we actually caught on camera.
My instinct is today is not the day that this is going to go down. I am not going to lose any children. This is not how it's ending.
That's not how it ended after this mom had to protect her 2 children from an attacking coyote at this playground yesterday afternoon.
And I took my foot and I kicked him right in the face with all of my might, and he literally fell down to the ground.
Only to jump back up.
So he came over that way, grabbed her arm, her left arm, and dragged her down. And I grabbed his snout, trying to break that bite, break that lock.
That thing had sharp teeth, and it bit very hard right here, and I got like 4 marks.
You can see where the coyote sank into the 5-year-old sweatshirt and arm, not releasing.
And that's when a gentleman came over and jumped on the back of the coyote and grabbed his neck.
I don't really remember, but I got the thing on the ground and I just got on top of it.
Arcangelo Liberatore is an Irvington police officer who was off duty with his family, who he got safe, then seized the animal and told the girl and her mom to run.
He is a true hero, and I do feel that most people wouldn't have come back to help someone.
I don't like the H word. It's just ingrained in me now to run towards trouble, I guess.
Somebody else showed bravery as well.
He sewed into a knot into here, and I was okay.
Natalia got stitches and rabies shots. Look, let's be clear, coyotes live here, but it is highly unusual for them to have any contact with humans, especially in the middle of the day, out in an open area like this. Both families, whose kids go to the same school, say they'll probably come back here.
I think that's like a 1 in a million kind of thing.
But he adds that the next time he comes back, he's likely to carry his firearm with him. Meanwhile, this little girl is on antibiotics and has to go back into the hospital about once a week or so for the next month to get more rabies shots. She's handling it all in stride.
An early evening stroll through this scenic park in Fairfield, New Jersey is routine for this 36-year-old mom and her 2 young children. It's a walk that wears the energetic toddlers out each night before bedtime. But yesterday, that walk was anything but routine. Instead, it turned into the 3 of them running for their lives when a coyote attacked.
I turned around, I first started walking thinking it maybe would run past me. And as I was walking with the double stroller, it bit me.
The surprise coyote bite along the park trail jolted her, forcing her stroller to tip over and the wild canine to now notice her 3-year-old son, Eric.
Then the coyote jumped on top of him. So quickly I took him by the arm and picked him up. And then the coyote went to the other side, right next to where she was. And you could see there's bite marks on our stroller where he was trying to get to her.
Thankfully, 18-month-old Maya was untouched. Mom, who only wants us to use her first name, Tatiana, was able to grab Maya and Eric and continue running, blocking the coyote from the kids while being bit a few more times. Eventually, the coyote gave up and went back in the woods.
My motherly instinct kicked in, and it could have been a lot worse.
Shortly after the ordeal, Fairfield police killed an aggressive coyote that charged at an officer. But it's hard to say if the coyote killed was the culprit. There are at least 2 more coyotes in the area, and officials want to warn the community to beware and take precautions.
We recommend walking in pairs, not alone, because again, you appear much bigger to an animal.
And you might be able to see just behind me an orange fence. That is the part of the park that has been blocked off to the public. That is the wooded area where the coyotes, the continued pack might be. Police are doing that temporarily. Long term, though, they're looking to put up some beware of coyote signs around here and even a panic button in that area just in case something like this happens again. Authorities can be alerted even quicker. Live in Fairfield, Alicia Nieves, Pix 11 News.
We found Daniel Dubno and his mixed breed pup, Princess Charlie Girl, in Central Park 8:30 in the evening. And they weren't just out for the nightly walk. He's brought along his infrared camera for a reason.
The ideal image would be to get the coyote because it's such an incredible thing to see in the middle of New York City.
There have been multiple coyote sightings in the past week here in the park. They've been spotted in the area of Belvedere Castle and in the lush woodland known as the Ramble. Daniel believes there are several coyotes roaming the park and that they may be more afraid of humans than he is of them.
We've been looking for the coyote like a lot of dog walkers at night because it's very exciting. And what I've heard so far is the coyote has been very interested in other dogs, but has never done anything to indicate interest in harming them in any way.
Wildlife sightings in the 5 boroughs is nothing new. The city even started a public awareness campaign with the headline, "City Dwellers Take Many Forms." In recent years, a pack of coyotes were living in the area of LaGuardia Airport. Central Park has become a coyote haven, with dozens of sightings last year alone. The one here seems to be getting used to the park.
Goes out into the park areas and suns himself. The Parks Department people I've spoken to have been very concerned because the coyote, they say, has been getting a little more aggressive.
The NYPD Central Park Division tweeting a warning not to feed the coyotes, keep a safe distance, and protect your pets. So again, very important, if you see a coyote here in Central Park or anywhere in the city, the most important thing, observe and appreciate that coyote from a distance.
Coyote attacks a dog in a New Jersey preserve today and then bit a teenager and later went after a woman. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Shirley Chan. Now, this all happened in the South Mountain Reservation in Maplewood. Sheriff's Department officers spent the evening searching for this coyote with plans to shoot it on sight. Pix 11's Anthony DiLorenzo explains how officials plan to hunt down the coyote and what people living in the area need to know.
Shirley, hi. The little girl's family tells me she's leaving the hospital tonight while her cousin's dog is in a bit worse shape after losing an eye to that coyote. And then about 90 minutes later, a second attack here has now closed this part of the park for part of the holiday weekend. As night fell on the South Mountain Reservation in Maplewood, a half-dozen Essex County Sheriff's officers left without finding the aggressive, possibly rabid coyote. They searched all night after it attacked a 13-year-old girl and her cousin's dog Friday afternoon. Then 90 minutes later, an adult woman at the same trailhead who we saw rush to the hospital in a black SUV.
I hope they capture it and they, remove it from the reservation.
Robert Hansen ran 4 miles through the same trail but didn't see much wildlife and has never seen coyotes in 3 years of his treks through the 2,000-acre preserve.
It's very possible, but never heard of it there, in a while, so slightly surprised.
The coyote first set its sights on 2-year-old Luna, growling, then lunging at her. The Maltese Shih Tzu mix owner told us she was in the wild animal's mouth before she and her cousin managed to scare it away. But not before the 13-year-old was also bitten in her leg by the coyote, and the dog lost an eye.
I'm certain that, the police officers and the animal safety crews will be out there, and hopefully we'll find the rabid animal and we'll take it away.
Fellow dog walkers now on alert, but told to stay away for the next day or so as it's roped off while the hunt continues.
I do see a lot of deer, but not coyote.
Essex County officials closing the area near the South Mountain Dog Park as New Jersey wildlife experts were also called in to help find, trap, or kill the menacing creature. Essex County officials tell me they plan on being back out here at the park searching tomorrow. Reporting from Maplewood, New Jersey, I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11 News.
It's a first for Jeremy Young, who's lived in Maplewood for nearly a decade.
Maybe heard of a random bear, but never a coyote.
Maplewood's portion of the 2,100-acre South Mountain Reservation is closed off after multiple incidents involving a coyote.
We go over there to take hikes and run and just take walks over there. So, yeah, it had us thinking about staying clear.
As of right now, staying clear is not a choice. Essex County has closed the park until July 6th in response to the dangerous coyote encounters. It was last Friday afternoon when police say a 13-year-old girl and a dog were attacked by the coyote near the dog park on Bear Lane. The girl suffered a bite to the leg while her Maltese Shih Tzu ended up losing an eye. 90 minutes later, another woman was attacked in the same area. The coyote hasn't been seen since.
The fact that it came up and attacked a dog and a person or two is kind of scary.
We're out there right now working with our state partners to try to locate the coyote here in the reservation.
Essex County officials say their state partners have told them to warn people in the area to be extremely cautious.
They recommended, since we anticipated being a sick coyote, to close the reservation for 5 days.
Because of the park's sheer size, there are many different ways one can enter the park without necessarily knowing that it's closed. So police will have a presence here over the next few days, and if they do see you in here, they will escort you out. The park closing means no 4th of July celebrations will happen here this year out of concern for safety.
We did have some, picnics and some events, in the reservation that were planned already, reserved. So for cautionary purposes, we reached out and tried to rearrange the schedule for those individuals.
I think they're doing the right thing to keep people safe.
It will reopen in about 2 hours after a coyote attacked a 13-year-old girl, her dog, and another woman last week, forcing it to close. This is the reservation we're talking about. Pix 11's Rebecca Solomon has much more for us.
Authorities say the first attack happened near a dog park off of Bear Lane. Now, the park has been shut down for 5 days. It reopens a little bit later on this morning as police are still on the lookout for that coyote. The attacks happened last Friday inside Maplewood's portion of the more than 2,100-acre South Mountain Reservation. The girl suffered a bite to the leg while a dog, a Maltese Shih Tzu, lost an eye. 90 minutes later, another woman was attacked in the same area. The coyote, who authorities believe is rabid, hasn't been seen since. After the attacks last Friday, a half-dozen members of the Essex County Sheriff's Office searched South Mountain Reservation for the coyote, but they were unable to locate it. New Jersey wildlife experts were also called in to help find, trap, or kill the coyote. Now, all victims are expected to be okay. Police warned anyone visiting the reservation that they should be extremely cautious of their surroundings. Of course, if you notice anything unusual, you're asked to contact police. In the newsroom, I'm Rebecca Solomon, Pix 11 News.
All right, if you're not looking at your TV, you might want to glance up.
This giant coyote, check him out, was spotted in Central Park over the weekend. Like most visitors, it seemed to just be out for a stroll. This was in the Cherry Hill area. Coyotes have been spotted in the city since the 30s. According to city officials, there are families of coyotes that have been living here for generations, as they started with one group in the Bronx.
Yeah, they're known to live within Queens, the Bronx, and Manhattan. Experts say if you see a coyote, just give it its space. I tell you what, most of the coyotes we see, they're like kind of straggly looking.
Yeah.
That guy.
That's a
Yeah, he looks like a wolf.
He's our neighbor.
It's a park surrounded by some of the most densely populated areas of the nation's most densely populated city. Yet, Claremont Park, in the heart of the Bronx, is home to what appears to be a growing number of coyotes. There's one we actually caught on camera.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard to catch one. But are these animals a threat to park goers? That's a big question. James Ford has the answers from Claremont Park.
Well, as the sign shows, we are in Claremont Park, but it is surrounded by neighborhoods that are as dense in population as the neighborhoods around Central Park. But this park is only 4% the size of Central Park. It's small, but just green enough that when we showed up looking for wildlife, here's what we encountered. As soon as we entered Claremont Park,
He lives over there.
people told us to look out for at least one, maybe more, coyotes. And within minutes, you now see what we saw, a coyote sitting at the edge of a lawn where people like to walk their dogs. The wild animal kept roaming, but it was clear it's a regular presence here.
Coyote of Claremont.
With reaction to the animal being mixed.
This is their territory, you could say. Yeah. We got to share it with them, right?
It's very dangerous having the coyotes around here with these dogs, and kids are playing. This is a playground, you understand? Where kids come and play, and dogs get to walk.
As long as they're not a danger to the people around the community, I think it's okay to see them and just keep your distance.
There have been coyotes spotted in more wooded parts of the city before, but Claremont Park is in the middle of the Bronx. The neighborhood surrounding it is urban. Some of the borough's busiest roadways surround the park, but in the last few decades, more trees and greenery have been added to the borough. A Bronx zoo expert points out that helps easily adaptive animals like coyotes adapt even more.
As the city is devoted to making more and more green spaces, by default, they're making more habitat for wildlife, and in this case, they're making habitat for coyotes.
The city's Parks Department told us in a statement, in part, "We have no reason to believe the coyotes in question are unhealthy or pose a threat to human safety. However, as with all wild animals, we advise everyone to keep their distance and avoid close contact." And the wildlife expert says one very important thing to keep in mind: never feed coyotes or leave food out for them. Anything you can do that causes wild animals to rely on humans makes them less wild and isn't fair to them, say the experts. Reporting from Claremont Park in the Bronx, I'm James Ford, Pix 11 News.
Dating in New York City is tough. But one longtime resident just found love in Central Park.
Boot up, boot up. We're talking about a coyote that has been spotted there since 2019. An expert with a group called the Gotham Coyote Project. They tell Gothamists the Central Park coyote has a girlfriend. The pair probably first matched. They matched up late last year. That's when experts first spotted the female coyote. They waited to make sure they weren't like double counting the animals. And so far, there are no signs of a den or pups just yet.
But you know it's coming. All right. However, experts say other urban coyotes do have kids, like a couple in the Alley Pond Park in Queens that had pups this spring.
The coyotes know. They felt that cool, brisk air. They said, you know, cuffing season is upon us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, you got officers here giving a warning to residents to beware after this aggressive attack that was captured on surveillance video, and a warning a lot of the video some viewers may find disturbing. The situation was as tense as the screams indicate. Video from a 360-degree surveillance camera shows the blonde-haired homeowner run out to help her housekeeper, who was attacked by a coyote while walking the family dog near the edge of the woods behind the family's home. The coyote attacks the dog before the dog's able to get inside. The dog is apparently okay, according to the homeowner, who did not want her name to be used. You see that she does scare off the coyote long enough for everyone to run inside for safety, and then the coyote trots back and forth in the backyard after the attacks. It happened just after 1:15 on Monday afternoon. Not long after, officers from the Woodcliff Lake Police Department and local animal control combed the woods in search of the animal, but weren't able to retrieve it.
I'm very upset.
Diane Muller is a neighbor who also has a young golden retriever and is a veterinarian.
Yeah, but they have to find out where that den is and if that coyote's still back there, and because it's very scary.
The coyote bit the woman twice on her left leg and at least once on her left arm, according to the homeowner, who also said the wounds were bloody. The aggressiveness of the coyote suggests it was rabid, police say. They also had a warning for residents.
They lurk in, heavily brushed areas. Keep pet food inside, don't leave it outside. Keep your garbage cans locked. Again, clear any kind of heavy brush that's in the area because they like to hide in that.
And they're also warning residents not to approach the coyote or any wild animal for that measure. Instead, they say to call 911. Reporting live from Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, I'm James Ford, Pix 11 News.
Coyote attacks on consecutive days this week have people in North Jersey on edge, but the victim of the second one says he fought off the animal, and wait till you hear his story. James Ford spoke with him and joins us now live from Saddle River with the details. James.
And yeah, you see us in front of this wooded area, but this is part of the property that this man owns, and his home is within walking distance of the attack that had happened a day before this one.
There,
there. Mike Vincent has the scars to prove that he survived a coyote attack on Tuesday. What was that? Whoa. As well as memories he says he'll never forget.
I was trimming trees down there on Oak Road.
You're looking at the pole saw he was using. You see that it has a thin rope attached to it.
My feet got tangled in the rope, and he got tangled in the rope, so we were like tied together. And he's like trying to bite me, and I'm just trying to get him the hell off me. And I cold cock. I hit him in the side of the head as hard as I could hit him.
That was enough to cause the coyote to back off and lay down. Mr. Vincent immediately called 911 and at the same time had one thought.
And then immediately within 1 second, oh, he's rabid. Because he wouldn't come up and bite me. Like, he would stay very far away from me if he wasn't.
It was the second coyote attack in North Jersey in 2 days. The first happening in Woodcliff Lake on Monday. In that case, the coyote bit a woman multiple times and attacked the dog she was walking. It was all captured on surveillance video.
Woodcliff Lake's right there.
He lives 1.5 miles from the first attack and suspects it was the same animal in both cases. After this latest incident, police came out and euthanized the animal. And immediately after this happened, Mr. Vincent had to go through a series of inoculations. And guess what? The rounds of shots for him are by no means over.